Welcome to Paper Trail, where we make academic research accessible and engaging. Let's see what the evidence says.
The traditional wisdom has always been that to truly innovate, you need to be in a major hub like Silicon Valley or Boston. That's where the talent concentrates, where the ideas collide.
And for a long time, that seemed to hold true. But a recent paper suggests something quite counterintuitive. For some of the most prolific inventors, leaving those superstar regions can actually boost their productivity.
Precisely. The research indicates that for star inventors, those responsible for a disproportionate share of high-impact patents, a move away from a top innovation cluster often correlates with an increase in their patenting activity. It's not just a lateral move, it can be an accelerant.
So instead of being stifled by leaving the perceived center of the universe, these inventors are becoming even more innovative. That really challenges the conventional view of innovation geography.
It does. The paper looks at patenting data over several decades, meticulously tracking individual inventors' addresses and patent output. What they found was a clear pattern. Not everyone is moving, but a very specific, high-impact group is, and their productivity often benefits from it.
To delve into that, how does the paper define star inventors, and why focus specifically on them?
The authors define star inventors based on two key metrics: a high count of patents filed and, critically, a high number of citations those patents receive. This isn't just about output, it's about impact. These are the individuals whose work fundamentally pushes fields forward and influences subsequent innovation. The focus on them is logical because they are the engines of innovation. Their movement and the impact of that movement is far more consequential than that of an average inventor.
So these are the intellectual powerhouses, the people whose work generates significant spillover effects, and the paper tracks their geographic shifts. What's driving this movement? It seems counterintuitive for someone at the top of their game to leave a place that, on the surface, seems to offer endless opportunities.
That's a crucial question. The paper doesn't pin it down to a single cause, but it explores several possibilities. For star inventors, who are already highly networked and possess a strong reputation, the perceived advantages of a superstar region might diminish. They might be seeking greater autonomy or a more prominent leadership role that's harder to achieve in an intensely competitive, talent-saturated environment. Think of it like a highly skilled player on an all-star team, where they're one of many, moving to a team where they can be the undeniable MVP and shape the entire strategy. There's also the factor of quality of life, cost of living, and proximity to family, which become increasingly important considerations as careers mature.
So it's not necessarily a lack of opportunity in the superstar region, but perhaps a different kind of opportunity or a more fulfilling work-life balance.
But what about the professional cost? Does leaving those dense networks, the constant serendipitous encounters, not take a toll?
That's where the productivity findings become particularly interesting. The research indicates that while network density is undoubtedly valuable, for these established stars, the benefits of greater autonomy and a less crowded intellectual space can outweigh the perceived loss of those serendipitous encounters. The data suggests that their intellectual capital is robust enough to not only sustain itself, but to flourish in new environments. They bring their networks with them, or quickly build new, potent ones. It challenges the idea that innovation only happens in the most crowded rooms. That's a really important distinction. It's not that networks don't matter, but that star inventors might be able to create or leverage their networks in a way that average inventors can't, regardless of location. The paper's core finding, that these moves often boost productivity, is quite striking. Can you elaborate on the mechanism behind that?
The analysis points to several potential factors. One is the increased influence and leadership opportunities. When a star inventor moves to a less dense innovation ecosystem, they often become a more central figure. They might lead new labs, departments, or research initiatives, giving them more control over their research agenda and resources. This enhanced autonomy appears to be a powerful driver of innovation. Another factor could be a shift in the type of problems they tackle. In a less crowded field, they might identify and pursue novel research avenues that were already saturated or overlooked in a major hub. The paper also notes a distinction. The productivity boost is most pronounced when moving from a superstar region to a non-superstar region. Moving within a superstar region or from one superstar region to another doesn't show the same accelerant effect.
So it's not just about a change of scenery, but a change in the competitive and organizational landscape they operate within. This sounds like an argument for finding your own intellectual blue ocean rather than staying in a red ocean of intense competition.
Precisely. The research highlights that for individuals with a proven track record, the value of being in a less saturated environment where their contributions stand out and they can exert greater influence can be substantial. It's about finding the optimal geometry for their specific innovation style and career stage. For a nascent inventor, the superstar region might be crucial for mentorship and initial networking. For a seasoned star, it might be time to lead the charge elsewhere.
This has significant implications for both the regions these inventors leave and the regions they arrive in. Considering the origin regions first, the superstar hubs, if their top talent is moving away, isn't that a form of brain drain that should concern places like Silicon Valley?
The paper offers a nuanced perspective here. For superstar regions, the impact of losing a star inventor appears to be surprisingly limited, at least at the aggregate level. These regions are such incredibly dense innovation ecosystems with a constant influx of new talent that they seem to act almost like innovation nurseries or launch pads. While a star inventor moving out might have a slight, temporary negative effect on their immediate co-inventors who remain, the overall innovation capacity of the superstar region appears highly resilient. New talent quickly fills the void, and the established infrastructure continues to churn out innovation. It's less of a drain and more of a natural part of a highly dynamic system.
So these superstar regions are so robust that they can absorb the departure of even their top innovators without missing a beat because they're constantly producing more. But what about the destination regions, the places these star inventors are moving to?
This is where the impact is most significant and unequivocally positive. When a star inventor arrives in a non-superstar region, the paper finds a substantial local star effect. Their presence acts as a magnet, attracting other inventors and fostering new collaborations. The research shows a clear increase in patenting activity in the destination region, not just from the star inventor themselves, but from the broader local ecosystem. These individuals essentially plant a highly fertile seed in new soil, and it helps grow the entire local innovation garden.
That's a powerful image. It suggests that the benefits are not just contained to the star inventor's personal output, but ripple outward, creating new hubs of innovation. It sounds like a net positive for overall innovation, distributing expertise more widely.
That's certainly one interpretation the paper supports. By enabling star inventors to decentralize, and by showing that they can be even more productive in these new environments, the total global innovation output might actually increase. It suggests a more geographically distributed future for innovation, rather than one concentrated in a few hyper-dense pockets. This could lead to a more diverse range of problems being tackled and a broader diffusion of technological advancements.
This brings us to policy implications. If this trend is real and beneficial, what should policymakers in different types of regions be thinking about? For the superstar regions, it seems like their role shifts from being the only place to innovate to more of an innovation accelerator or training ground.
Exactly. For superstar regions, the focus might be on maintaining their status as attractive initial launchpads for talent. This means continued investment in research infrastructure, universities, and creating environments that foster the early stages of innovation and talent development. They remain critical for incubating the next generation of stars. For the destination regions, the non-superstar areas, the implications are perhaps even more profound. They have an opportunity to strategically attract and retain these mobile star inventors. This could involve targeted incentives, building specialized research facilities, or simply enhancing quality of life factors. The paper suggests that these regions should recognize the outsized impact a single star inventor can have on their local economy and innovation landscape.
And the role of remote work and digital connectivity in all of this seems implicit. If these star inventors can maintain their networks and conduct their work effectively from different locations, that surely facilitates this spread.
Absolutely. While the data analyzed predates the most recent surge in remote work, the underlying technological capabilities for distributed collaboration have been evolving for decades. The paper implicitly supports the idea that as digital tools reduce the need for constant physical proximity, the gravitational pull of traditional innovation hubs might continue to weaken, empowering more inventors to seek out optimal environments that balance professional opportunity with personal preferences. It's about leveraging technology to enable a new geometry of innovation.
So, to summarize some of the key insights from this research, first, star inventors are increasingly decentralizing, moving out of traditional innovation hubs.
Second, this movement often correlates with a significant boost in their individual patent productivity, particularly when they move from a superstar region to a non-superstar one.
Third, while superstar regions appear resilient to this brain drain, the destination regions experience a substantial local star effect, seeing an increase in overall patenting activity.
And finally, this trend suggests a future where innovation is more geographically distributed, with superstar regions acting as critical training grounds and launchpads, and other regions becoming new nodes of significant innovation, driven by mobile star talent.
It definitely reshapes how one might think about fostering innovation. It makes you wonder, if this trend continues, will we see entirely new innovation ecosystems emerge in places we wouldn't have expected a decade ago?
That wraps up this episode of Paper Trail. Join us next time as we dig into more research worth talking about. If you liked what you heard, share it with a friend.
Keep reading the fine print.